Well, when I walked up and looked out over here, I went, wow. As simple as a simple statement like that. Massive scale.
It's unique. It's gorgeous. I mean, when you get on top of the hill in here, look down for the first time, it's sensational.
I mean, it's a hard golf course to walk. I mean, take the playing out of it. Just the traversing of the hills and the working your way uphill. I think it's going to take a lot out of these players physically.
It's going to be very interesting to see how the players can focus their shot, where they're going to hit it, how they're going to hit it, because they're never going to experience seeing the ball roll out like they in the U.S. Open, like this is going to roll out. So you can mishit your shot by maybe 10 feet, and you could finish 50, 60 yards away from the pin location.
This place is a lot more difficult than I imagined. These greens are enormous. It's the one thing that surprised me. I had no idea the undulation in these greens, and some of the pin placements could get pretty tricky.
Well, I think just by nature, if you took pictures of every hole and you said, where are we? You'd be hard-pressed to believe we're in the United States. I think if you look at the overall layout of this golf course, it's very un-US Open-like, where it's not tight fairways, it's not tree-lined, this is a completely unique setup.
I think the players are going to be very surprised by what they see here.
These players are going to come out of this event talking about the greens.
That is the most striking part of this golf course, besides the beautiful views. But I think that the greens are what the players are really going to spend their time evaluating, and the caddies are going to have to really concentrate on that.
At times, the way even the ball sounds when the ball hits the green, like on 7, I think is going to be like that trampoline effect that we haven't heard anywhere in the United States Open, or maybe anywhere in an event on television.
The gigantic mounds that are actually man-made that look so natural here. I mean, Trent Jones moved 1 million cubic yards of dirt, which is a tremendous amount in this minimalist sort of day.
You better have a caddy who's really on his game. He's got to be able to give you the yardages to those mounds. He's got to be able to explain them to you. You've got to be able to get a visual snapshot of what to expect when your ball lands up there. So the teamwork between the player and the caddy is going to be so precise this week.
I think it's going to require somebody that can do it all.
The player who has got great visualization, got great control of the spin of his golf ball, there's going to be a situation where you need to impart a lot of spin on the ball to get it to stop, and a lot of situation where you need to flight that ball with a little less spin to get it chasing up some of these greens.
And some of these greens have so much undulation and so many difficult sections of the greens to hit to that if you're hitting a short iron and can control the spin on the ball, you're going to have a much better chance.
So the guy who's got control of that spin and it can visualize his shots and feel it, could be anybody.
It's going to be who can get up and down out of these bunkers and who can read these greens from far away and hit it to one spot knowing that it's going to end up in another spot. That to me is the guy that's going to win. It's the approach shots and knowing that links style, like they're going to have to hit it to a certain area, a lot of the times completely away from the hole.
The British Open-like feel of the golf course where balls are going to bounce and bounce in front of the greens because it's this fescue grass throughout the course and sandy soils. It's going to be firm, and you're not going to be able to land shots right by the pin and stop them. The ball's going to have to bounce yards short of the green to run up there, especially some of these downwind, downhill shots. It's going to be amazing to watch a player have to adapt to that.
They're going to be challenged in ways that they haven't seen, maybe even at Augusta National. These greens are very severe, and I mean that in an awesome way because they're in great shape and they're unique. I just think that players are going to be really tested.
You're going to have massive elevation changes. If there's any little bit of a wind, players aren't used to that, where the ball is hanging up there for so long and then hitting the ground and then releasing some. So your calculation on time is and where you want the ball to finish is something none of these guys have probably ever played or ever experienced.